Hi, welcome to episode 33 of the Blindsided podcast. This is an exciting one today because we're going to talk about systems, process, or steps. Some things that we figure out a problem and we want to get to a solution. We want to transform, we want to change. But so often we know a lot. But what is missing is when you open a combination, think of a big knob on the front. You might know all the numbers, but if you don't know the steps, the sequences, that door does not open. And you could say, I know those numbers. I don't get it. Well, I'm doing it in the wrong process, the wrong approach, the wrong system. And that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. I'm Charlie Collins. I am the co host of the Blindsided podcast, and I'm happy to be here with you in this episode.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Charlie. My name is Brenda Hayden. I'm also a co-host of this Blindsided podcast, and I'm excited to be here. I'm the founder of Time for a 10. We're an emotional awareness coaching service. We help people reveal or discover their conditioned thinking by inventorying their disturbances to get at the exact nature of how they're taking in the world and how they're responding to it. And then we do some cognitive reappraisal, and they're able to let things go and see things differently and enjoy more peace and happiness in their life. And I'm really glad that we're going to talk about change, and we're going to talk about the steps in the process of change. Because if you don't know the sequence, if you don't know the order of the numbers, you're right. You're never going to open that door. So hit it, Charlie.
No, I'm loving the idea of just made me think of there's a process, there's not the process. There is, we can label it that way when we are working in a certain area with people, with self too. I mean, and I love that, you said we uncover the disturbance, the resentment, the ill feeling, the what isn't working. And this is not what I want in my life. So, but we've got to inventory, we got to look at this because we can't drop you into a program of action until we find out. So this is part of the steps, right? So step one is we determine the problem. Step two is we kind of look at it and say, hey, do you now see? Because Brenda, you and I both know, and I know personally in my own life, when I discovered and when I really saw the problem, whether it was when I was drinking or whether it was I was struggling on a computer, but when I truly understood the problem, I wanted to move to the next step. I didn't want to stay there anymore. And the next step was, and I had a mentor, a guide that said, the next step is we got to open the door to you stepping through a program of action. And do you believe, or are you willing to believe that my guidance and the steps I'm going to help lay you out to do will bring you to where you want to go? And I remember saying, yes. I had a business coach that did that to me. I had a speaking coach that did a very similar thing to me. And I had other guides and mentors in my life that also helped me in that way. But I had people that tried to help me that didn't have that approach, and it didn't work.
Right. You know what that makes me think about, Charlie, is something that Michael Beckwith says. He says that we suffer from intention deficit disorder, not attention, but intention deficit disorder. It starts with willingness, right? It starts with making an intention for change, setting that intention, saying yes to making that change, and setting a serious intention to do it. And then when you set that intention, you become open to the process, steps, whatever you want to call it. Right. But you have an intention for a path that is being laid out in front of you. And it's really not, I don't believe that it's a path of self-will, because that's how I got anyway in trouble, was my will. What I thought was best for me, what I thought would work for me, wasn't working. And I kept exerting more of my will, more of the same thing that wasn't working. So I set an intention to allow somebody, an accountability buddy, to help me, achieve what it was I was intending to achieve. The change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I bump into a lot of people that know a lot. And and Brenda, there's a lot of podcasts out there. So, and say I want to, I don't know, I try to learn a certain approach on the guitar to play a song. When I watch 5 to 8 different video, and I'm confused. I don't know what to do because this guy says it this way, this one said, and they all, you know, get to a obviously an outcome. They're playing the song, but is it right? Is it the way the band who created the song wrote it? Does it matter? you know, and it's like I get confused because none of them are saying, first of all, when I started with my guitar teacher, it didn't work out. I couldn't get past, I couldn't work. So then I went online and I looked. Then I bought DVDs and I said, this is the one, play. And it was terrible. Now, we all learn differently. But if there's a 12 step, a 10 step, a 19 step, I don't know, approach, and you can take each one, because what I found out with my second guitar, maybe my third guitar teacher I hired, who came to my house, that when he left, I had homework, I learned something, I was complimented by him. I can see you've been practicing, you're making progress, which delivered me to the next step, his next visit. I'm going to learn something new. And over, because Brenda, he asked me, what do you want? Do you want to learn how to play songs? Or do you want to learn the guitar? A little bit of theory. So when you're sitting around, you could adapt and be a part of and play along with people. Both ways are perfectly fine, but they're two different teaching styles. I said, I want to learn the theory, the guy that gets why he's pressing on the strings. And then that was the program of action and the step process he took me to. And then one day it went pop in my head. The dots all started to connect.
Nice. That's a beautiful example, Charlie, of self-will. I'm gonna try this guitar teacher. I don't really like him. He didn't resonate with me, right? That's what I heard. He didn't resonate with me. Now I'm gonna do YouTube and I'm gonna learn on there. Now I'm gonna buy CDs. Self-will, 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 right? Instead of finding resonation with what you're doing, finding things that resonate with you. And that's what you ended up doing. You looked for a coach, you looked for a mentor, you looked for someone that resonated with you, somebody that challenged your thinking, that had you look at playing the guitar differently, asked you a question that's a really important question to ask. Do you want to play songs? Like, do you just want to know how to hit the right strings? Or do you really want to learn the guitar? Do you want to know what it is? And that's coming from here, right? That's a connection, not only to the mentor and coach, but it's a connection to the guitar, not just playing it, right? And I think a lot of people look at change from here, and change has to come from your heart. I believe that's where intention comes from. Intention doesn't come from your head. When people use the phrase, oh, well, I had good intentions, they're talking about these intentions. They're not talking about, I don't believe, this intention. Or at least when I was saying, oh, my intentions were good. I don't use that word anymore because I know what that word really means today. So I never use that word. I never use that sentence even to say, well, my intentions were good. Because when my intention is coming from that intuitive place, there's resonance for me. I have discernment. When it's coming from here, I don't always have so much discernment. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, very much so. I like that. The intention doesn't come from our head, but you know what does? Tension. It's because I forgot the in part. Because why is it called in? Because it's a part of who we are, and it's an initiative. It's that innovation. It's that inspiration. It's that intuitiveness that when you work through a process, that starts bubbling up effortlessly. And and I know that I have I know now I can pray on it, think on it, meditate on it, whatever that is, but that I know where to go, what to do, who to ask, and how. And there's many systems approaches I can build and do on my own. And I work hard at that because being legally blind, I don't want to look for things. I don't want to misplace things. I don't want to struggle. I'm done struggling because, you know, it happens too much still. I struggle or I can't find something and it's all because I didn't follow the system. And it's a bit rigid at times, but it works for me. Like, it does. And that's okay because I want to be in a space, Brenda, where I come into my studio and I'm not looking how to turn things on, focus, put a light the right way, adjust my monitors, my keyboard, my cameras, my switching station. I don't want, I want to go, I am so grateful to be here. I am blessed. I built a system that helps me tap back into my intention, which is to
Mhm.
provide content and steps and approach to help others.
Yeah, I love that, Charlie. I think you're talking too, if I heard you right, you're talking about discipline as well. And you're talking about, you put things in place for yourself that will facilitate your highest good and success. You put those things in place and then you execute on them.
Yeah.
So what do I really mean by that? If you really want something, if you want some kind of change in your life, you have to start with the intention and then you have to set a goal, right? And I always say, there's something that you're really wanting to change right from the get-go, you get an accountability buddy because we can't trust our own thinking sometimes. And we need somebody on the outside to challenge our thinking and get us on the right path. Should we go off it? Most of us, an accountability buddy is a really good idea. But these things, no, change doesn't just happen. You have to practice. You have to be disciplined about it. You have to do the things that require the change to stick. It says something like, I think it's 28 days or 30 days to change a habit, right? It takes 30 days of doing the same thing over and over again to lose a habit or to create a new habit. So either way, it takes about a month. So for example, when I first decided that I wanted to learn how to go inward, I said, I'm going to meditate. And I meditated for 3 minutes on the first day. And then I added a minute the next day. And I added a minute the next day. But I kept doing it. Same thing. I wanted to run a marathon, right? This was years ago. So when I started running, Charlie, I ran between 2 telephone poles and I added a pole a day. And I didn't say, oh, I'm going to run every day because I knew I would never meet that demand. There's nothing I do every single day except for breathe. So if I tell myself I'll do it every day, I'm setting myself up for failure. So I set a reasonable goal. So the next time I ran, which was a couple of days later, I added a pole and added a pole and added a pole, and I ran a marathon.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So, Brenda, if say, there's people that want to make more money, they want to lose weight, they want to improve their relationship with their spouse, their partner, whatever. They want to network in a better way. They want to get healthier, breathe more outside. There's so many things. And there's so much information on all of that. So let's just go to I need to drop some weight. I want to lose weight. And I watch 15 podcasts and now I go, I have no idea what to do. You know what? I don't know. Should I eat meat? Should I eat this? When do I start? How do I mean, I'm so overwhelmed that I'm going to go right back to my Oreos because they help me more than these stupid people all on the internet. And they're not stupid. But imagine if you came to, hi, are you looking to drop some weight? Go from where you are to where in your mind's eye you know you could someday. Well, you're in the right space. But you got to start with step one. Let's really, really discover the problem. Because the result of the problem, the symptom or the effect is the fat, right? And I'm a little lazy, it's affecting mentally, spiritually, and physically. So I believe, Brenda, that no matter what you do, a spiritual component has to be involved. It
Agreed.
must, because I will never change if I don't activate the power within me that I was born with. And I so I would say to that person, for minimum of 7 but 14 days, don't do anything. Just document everything you eat every day.
Perfect.
That's it.
Perfect.
Don't worry about losing, because it didn't take you 30, 60, or 90 days to put this weight on. It took you a few years. And we're going to work on a program that'll last the rest of your life. So
Yes.
step 1 is write out everything you eat and be rigorously honest,
Yeah.
because with that is going to go to the next step. And those who are willing to do that want to go to the next step because they're a little disgusted.
You said something really important there, Charlie, that I agree with wholeheartedly. We are mind, body, and spirit. I actually think we're spirit, mind, and body. I think it's in that order, but I believe we're spirit first, right? We're energy taking form. That's how I look at it. So our base makeup is energy. People know today that the soul isn't in the body is in the soul. So the energy is on the outside, not the other way around. And the body's taking form within the energy. So believe whatever you want, doesn't matter.
Nope.
However, you have to include all 3 components in any kind of change you're trying to make, because it's like, I'm only going to take care of a third of myself or 2/3 of myself. You have to take care of the whole system. The whole system has to participate in the change. And when I talk about the spiritual side, that's what I mean when I say get an accountability buddy, somebody you can connect with or talk with. Ask the universe for help. Go inward, ask your higher self for help. Become aware that you have help available to you in your energy field, in your consciousness all the time. Pray to God, pray to Allah, pray to whoever you pray to, pray whatever. Incorporate that into the change that you want to do, right? So take care of the spiritual part. And the same thing, the second thing with any change is you have to really know what it is you need to change, because you're right. The overeating is a symptom of something else. It's just a symptom, right?
Mhm.
So you have to start looking at, and you can start doing that by documenting not just what you're eating, but when you're eating and why you're eating. When I was trying to change my diet and I started looking at the things I was eating, I would ask myself, what am I feeling? What am I feeling before I ate that Oreo? Right? When I was having that snack that I like to have at night, the one that really isn't that bad for you. I mean, the 2 of the things on Yucca rated good. Just one didn't rate good because it had too much salt. So I was being really hard on myself too. But I had to look at that. It was a reward system in my brain. So I would look forward to treating myself with this snack after work, after putting in a long day. And I said to myself, and I worked this out with my coach, if I remove the reward system from the food, if I'm not attaching that meaning to the food, did it make a difference whether I had it at night or not? It didn't. It didn't. It was the attachment to the idea that I'm rewarding myself with it that was having me eat that food. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yes,
So
of
you
course.
have to not just document what you're eating, but why you're eating it. When am I eating it? How am I feeling right before I go for the Oreo or the ice cream or whatever it is? You start to become aware of why the habit is there to begin with. And then you can start making some physical changes. Like, I don't keep the stuff in my house that I don't want to eat. Because now if I want it, right? Let's say I wanted Oreos or I wanted that Oreo cookie ice cream. Now I have to go and get it. There's that moment of pause that I have to reconsider. Is this, now I'm going to sit down and write, why do I want it? Am I feeding an emotion? Am I trying to self-soothe with the ice cream? Like, I don't even have to write it out. I can just sit down and let those questions run through my mind and answer those questions. And I'll probably come to a different decision that doesn't include leaving the house, going to the store and buying the ice cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that's what I'm working on at that time. There's nothing wrong about having ice cream if you're not working on not having ice cream.
Just talking about all this stuff
I know.
is triggering my watering glands. Stop it. Talk about something gross.
There's the power of the mind.
Uh, that's right. I mean, I do it. I when I'm doing a talk or something, I'll have everyone shut their eyes and then I mean, and actually, I've worked with blind people since birth, so shutting their eyes isn't really beneficial to because they've never seen. So, but they have an image in their mind of what an apple is. And they know what a wet apple is. And some of them have had their hand in a drop of water's come off and touched their finger. So now they know what they don't know what red is. But I would say picture a red apple in your glove box of your car, and all people go, I can do that. I know what my glove box looks like, and now I want that damn. Now open it up, you know. So, or picture a red apple or a green apple, and you just wash it in a bead of water running down the side. People, almost everybody else say, so you can do visioning. That's what visioning is. And just so what is it you want? Because Brenda, we started out with my step one is right out with your, but you started right into step two. You know, it's like I gotta know why. Why am I doing this? I know it's not right. I know it's not good for me. And I
Yeah.
keep saying I'm going to stop doing it. Am I cuckoo? No, you've created. Our brains are neuroplastic. And that means Brenda talked about creating a new habit. A new habit is formed by DSPs snapping in the brain, dendrite spine protuberances. But anyway, in there, and over time, you keep firing that, it lays down. It's kind of like walking back and forth through a hayfield. If you stayed on that same path all day, each day, it would wear it down and you could not do it. You could wake up tomorrow and look and say, hey, look, my path is now anchored down.
Hmm.
And that's what the brain does. So when you do it over and over, but if you do it 3 days and stop, whoop, the grass comes back up.
Hmm.
And that's what the problem is. So you got to keep doing until it's a chore at first. This sucks. Oh my God. But then think it through. Why am I going to go down the wrong path? I made a decision and a commitment. I have an accountability partner. I know I'll feel, look, and sound, and I'll be happier, better, and healthier. Why wouldn't I want that? And it's like, okay, so I'm going to do it. Damn it. I mean, that's me. I'm talking my experience. I get mad. It's like, this sucks. I want to eat all that crap in the world and pretend it doesn't affect me, but it does. But why do I want to eat all that? What's wrong with making a healthy? So I ask all that, and then I realize I'm not cuckoo. It's just my old programming, the pathways in my brain want to run the show. And I'm pushing up against them, and they're saying, don't do that. Come my way. It's easier.
Yep. Yep. What's one thing that you and I have learned we can say to ourselves when we're having an urge to do something and we want to stop ourselves from doing it? Do you remember what it is?
Well, is this true? Will it really move me in the direction that I want to be? Or if I don't do it, will I die?
That's a good one. I remember that one. The one my favorite is, you know what? I say to myself, you know what? If I still want this tomorrow, I can have it then. And nine
Yeah.
out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times when I get up the next day, I don't want it anymore. It's a fleeting thing. And if we allow it to just express, it's going to move by. The craving will move by. It'll pass. Or the other thing, Charlie, hang on. The other thing that you can
Hang
do,
on, hang on.
hang on. There's one more thing. It just popped right in. You can do something else that would make you feel better. Move a muscle, change a thought. Something else that you enjoy that would make you feel better. A favorite song, a walk, playing some music, a meditation, something playful, walking, grounding yourself, walking in the grass is always really good to change your energy field and make you feel better.
Knock on the neighbor's doors or anything I can do for you. Call somebody
Yeah,
who's
perfect.
maybe
Yeah.
down and out, struggling a bit. Give them a little love over the phone. Take a walk in the neighborhood. Knock on someone else's door. And the moment you get out of self, that desire, that little inner
Bingo.
prompting to do the wrong thing, it's gone.
Bingo. That's beautiful, Charlie. Say that again. The minute you get out of yourself.
that big ass bowl of peanut butter ice cream that I am drooling about still. No, I'm just kidding. It's gone because I forgot
Oh,
about me.
because you forgot about you. That's beautiful. I love that. So true. So true.
So, Brenda, I just wanted to say, so this doesn't mean it's always a problem. It could be a goal, but I want to get in. And so many people, I have to know how to do it. The how sometimes comes out through the steps. Like, I don't know how to make amends before to somebody I had harmed because I was full of self. I was full of fear. So I can't tell them, "Oh, I was being selfish and I was just afraid." I don't want to do that. Well, I don't even know that until I discover. And then I'm able to knock on the door and say, "Wow, here's why I'm making amends. It's not for me. It's because I harmed you." Now, so that's like I just like um, without doing what you said earlier, looking at these disturbances and things. So I might need to clean a little inventory or clean house or do something in order to get to a goal. I might have to, and I might not know that, but I'm getting an inner prompting. I'm getting some intuition, or I'm like, why do I keep wanting like go away? I don't know how to do that. Well, once you take step one delivers you into step two. And step two work will deliver you into step three work, which will then deliver you. And I don't care if you call it ABC, numbers, or whatever. But what I'm saying in the program and how Brenda and I are coaching and how I'm using it in my own life is that I don't need to know step eight, how to do it, because I trust and rely on my mentor and the spiritual power within me that each one will deliver me to the next one.
Absolutely, Charlie. Actually, Leanda on our coaches meeting said something that goes like this. She said, take the first step and the stairs will just appear. And I made, one of those quote posters and I put that on there. I went out to Mid Journey and I created a really nice artistic thing and I put it out in the Time for a 10 channel. Take the first step and the stairs will just appear. Yep. Yep.
If you're building a business, building a healthy home, building a healthy garage, and I mean, these are all environments that do all lend a helping hand in this change, in this transformation, in this life where that, because life best lived is life by design. It's
Mhm.
taking those inner promptings and things we get and applying them and putting them into an approach. A restaurant, Brenda, I'll just tell you, you go to a restaurant, you decide, you drive into it, you walk in, and you kind of give yourself to them, right? You say, "Hi, I'm here." And they say, "Welcome to, Burger King." No, I'm just kidding. I don't know the name, a restaurant, Lobster House. And well, welcome to our place. Now, I could teach them. They should be asking me, "Is this your first time here? How did you hear about us?" But let's not go down the marketing arm of it. And hello. And then, do you have any preference? No, they don't ask. I want to sit where it's light. So I say, "Is there anywhere we can sit where there's more light?" Sure. So then you go and you sit down. What is their job? May get you a glass of water and, of course, a booze drink. And then they disappear for a bit and let you look at the menu. So then it's in a system, right? What is the goal of that restaurant? I would hope it's to provide excellent service, quality food and meal, and get us out of there because they got to fill that table X amount of times in a short amount of time in order to be a profitable restaurant. So
Yep.
they need to teach a system that enables them to work with their customers, give them an experience beyond their wildest dreams, or at least above average, and send them on their way. And, so then you eat, you check in, how's the food, anything I can get you, then you come back, are you ready for the bill? Do you want the dessert menu? Then you pay and you walk out, they thank you, and boom, boom, boom. That's how you go from A to Z or A to L. That's our steps. And restaurants, good ones, study that system and improve upon it. As long as they're doing it not to make more money, to drive a better customer experience and not have them be satisfied, have them be like raving fans, you're going to see a very healthy, good restaurant. And we
Yeah.
can apply that to ourselves.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. It's setting the intention, getting a coach or a mentor, an accountability buddy, right? Achievable goals, and a process that you put in place that you follow to get to that goal. It's fantastic, Charlie. Did you have some charts you were going to share?
No,
No, no charts tonight?
where did you come up with the charts?
I don't know. I thought you had said you had charts on the TV behind you or something that you were going to show us.
Yeah, but I'm not going to share them.
Oh, okay.
They're for me.
That's your process, right?
No, it's just you can't because I have my aperture set so it's blurry. So don't mess with my system, Brenda.
So let's talk for a second about the importance of being kind and gentle to yourself during any kind of process of change. Like one of the things that I used to do that I don't do now, thank you. I thank the universe for removing it for me, is when I set a goal, even when I have an accountability buddy, sometimes I will still miss the mark. Actually, frequently will miss the mark, which I want to talk about that for a second. Do you know what the Sanskrit definition of sin is? Like the
Missing the
original
mark.
missing the mark. That's it. Not good. It's not bad. There's no meaning attached to it. No heaven, no hell. A sin meant to miss the mark in Sanskrit. I asked 3 linguists so far to make sure that I chat GPT'd it, and I asked 3 people that I know that are linguists. One works at the UN. That's what it means to miss the mark. So when I miss the mark, right? When I have a shortcoming or I take a step back, I don't beat myself up for it because I'm a human being and I will miss the mark. I try and learn from, I get curious about, and curiosity, we did a whole podcast on that, is so important. I get curious about why. And sometimes it's just because I did. There's no big, deep meaning behind it. I just wasn't on my game that day, and that happens. And sometimes there's a deeper meaning to it. But it's important to be, whatever the reason for missing the market is, it's important to just brush yourself off, be really kind and gentle and loving with yourself, kind of observe it, laugh at it if you can, and start over. Not even start over. I don't even look at it like that anymore because that's self-defeating. I don't say I'm starting over. I move on. I move on from it.
Course correct. Tighten the bow.
Yeah.
Make the scope on the gun a little. And I don't mean it that, but when you shoot target practice, if you hit the bullseye every time, you don't. But
No.
you don't. I want to try to hit a bullseye, and I'm off a little. I don't go home crying and call myself the biggest loser.
You
At
used
least I
to?
try. I used to. Then
Yeah.
I'd want to turn the gun on myself. But I mean, why bother? Life is so hard. Well,
I know.
those who are the most successful have failed a hell of a lot more than I have
Mm-hmm.
because they keep failing forward. They keep missing the mark.
Failing
Because
forward.
what is the mark? Anything that helps continue to move you forward to a worthy ideal, a worthy intention. That's the mark.
Failing forward. I'm writing it down. That's a great topic for a video. Thank you, Charlie. Failing
You're welcome.
forward. You know what else I heard today? And this falls right into the change thing. What was that movie where Will Smith loses his child? Collateral Beauty. I heard that. I'm going to do a video on that too. Collateral Beauty. So when something catastrophic happens, whether it's in your process of change or even personally, there's beauty in it because what will happen after? Because pain motivates incredible transformation and change. And the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, has turned every lemon in my life into lemonade every single time. And even the horrific things every single time. So sorry, I got off track a little bit there.
No, you didn't. We don't have too many rules on our
No,
podcast.
we don't. That's why I like coming here.
I wouldn't be here if there was a rule.
I know.
I was at a function, and the head of the function at the end asked those in the room that could be of service to please raise your right hand. So I raised my left. It looks right to people on video. And this guy next to me, and I said, "You raise your left hand." I said, right. If you had told me
And
to raise my left hand, I would have raised my right one. I'm not the best at following rules or direction from and it was just quite funny, and that's why it's kinda like, "Hey, are we missing the mark tonight?" I don't believe we're sinners tonight, but are we on topic perfectly? No, but it kinda weaves all through, and our intention is to help you take step 1. Our intention is to help you pick up that phone, ask for that help. Our intention is that we know what it's like to struggle, to fail, to relapse, to self hatred, to want to turn that gun. I know what that mind is, but I also know it that I'm going to try my best. I'm going to put it off in this moment, in this hour. I'm going to say, I'm going to just next hour from now, I'm going to go. But before I get to that next hour, I'm going to go try to help somebody. I'm going to do something. I'm going to take guidance from a mentor, a coach. And I'm going to do what they said because it seems every time I come up with what to do, it fails. So I'm going to let go and I'm going to take direction because I don't know everything. I just know I need to do something different. And then my off the mark, missing the mark, it doesn't become about I don't take it so personal. I found out that I am not the only one that screws up.
yeah, yeah. And I want to be really clear about something here. You and I, we've been doing these podcasts for a while now, and we talk about serious topics and we talk about
33
serious
weeks.
33 weeks. I loved every single one. Um, and we share a lot of tools and recommendations and how to, and these, you and just so people know, we have been in the depths. We have been through some stuff. And the tools that we share are tools that we both have used when we have been in the grips of tragic failures, right? Life circumstances that you would not believe. And we've gotten to the other side as a result of we've made lots of mistakes. We've gotten to the other side and we've used a lot of these tools to get to the other side. And our goal is to share those tools with people so that they can have the same experience or better than we've had the same experience that we've had, if not better. So
That's right. And we and don't be I don't tell you not to be anything, but I don't mean it that way. But I went to many conferences throughout my life and especially some sales and marketing types. And I would come out of there, but I wouldn't know, what to do. I mean, I would know I want to make more money. I want to help more people. I love the idea of direct response marketing. And I don't mean to, I'm just saying, but what is step 1, step 2, step 3? How does step 1 deliver me to step 2? And I would maybe start, Brenda, but I would lose momentum because I was off the mark. And it was because I maybe didn't ask for the right help. I wouldn't hire a coach. I could self-will it. And anytime I think I know what's best, I don't care what the teacher said. I know a better way. It's my way. It's most of the time doesn't work out when it's a new thing for me.
mm, mm. A lot
So
of people, yeah, and a lot of people, I think, and a lot of people I've known could be resistant to a mentor or a coach being told what to do. That's why an accountability buddy is sometimes a lot more palatable to people. Although I'm a big believer in coaches because coaches have saved my life. And 2 of them, it specifically really transformed me. But an accountability buddy is somebody who is going to challenge your thinking, but ultimately you're still calling the shots. Same thing with coaches, though. We challenge your thinking, but you're still calling the shots. So,
Brenda, do you think there would be any Olympic athletes or football teams or anybody who's at any high level or doing anything worthy on this planet? They all have coaches.
yes, of course.
So, well, I'm just saying, it's like, I never knew that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know that there were speaking coaches, like teaching me how to move my gait across the stage, which when I'm raising my hand to an audience, raise my left hand because it's going to be uncomfortable for me because I'm right-handed. But to them, it looks like my right hand. And most people are right-handed. And if you do that, you'll connect with more people in the audience. And when you're talking positive, move to the left because it looks like to the right. And when you're talking negative, I'm like, what? And it works.
Yeah. I
I
start my
learned all that.
schematics class tomorrow. I know, we're
All right.
excited.
So, what do you think? I think that let's bring this one to a close. This has been fantastic. Um,
Fantastic.
I say that because I'm always inspired and jacked when we end these.
Me too. Me too. I always have a good time, Charlie. So it's been a great podcast. Thank you.
You're
You got
welcome.
our like, subscribe. There it is. Like, subscribe, and please do share.
Yeah, and check out Brenda's website. Mine, I want to give a quick update. I know I'm real small right now, but who cares? My blind sighted production, whatever. I'm going to explain, but we're working on some really neat stuff, and I'm so excited because I'm following the step process to get it done. And the problem, no, not the problem. The thing with this step, any type of quality program of action, it takes practice, persistence with patience. And we'll see you
Love it.
soon. Thank you for it.